howdy. Hi. Oh, how do I do not want that. How do I... Ooh. Sorry, I have to change some settings. Oh, there we go. Thank God. Phew. I fixed it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, hi. Did you know it is 1:02 on the 221122? So today's date is the 22nd of the 11th, 22. Unless you're in America, in which case it's 11/22/22 Either way, pretty cool numbers, I reckon. Also, if you're in America, it's probably not yet. It's probably still Monday night, I guess. Coming to you from the future. Hi, my name's Lisa Westgate. I'm the creator and founder and head unicorn here at the Misfit Hub, and I'd like to welcome you to this week's live called Why the Fuck Should I Listen to You? Where we will be exploring why the fuck you should be listening to anybody. Hope you find it useful and interesting. Groovy. So remember to jump into the comments, say hi, give me a wave, let me know that you're here, that you're watching, that you can hear me, that it's worth fucking listening to. Yep, just checking that it's all good on my end. Looks okay. I'd really love to have a chat with you live today. Big welcome to all the new members of the group. It's lovely to have you here. I hope that you find my particular flavour of sweary, no BS, brutal truth really beneficial. I hope it helps cut through maybe layers of sort of like niceties and things that people kind of say because they think that's what they're meant to say. There's none of that here, so you can rest assured that we cut to the truth. I have been referred to as a velvet hammer. Sometimes the velvet's pretty thin, to be honest. Today I wanted to talk to you about really, like, there's a lot of people out there offering to help, right? Offering to help you with trauma, help you with, there's 700 billion life coaches, which, I don't like the term life coach. I don't like the term coach because I don't. Hi, Mark. Lovely to have you on your first live. Welcome to my, Tuesday bullshit that I do. Because, what are any of us doing? I'm on the tea today for those playing at home. Cup of tea. I think it was last week was coffee. If you're keeping a tally, I don't know. So there's heaps of coaches in the world. Some of them have, it's not a Zoom. It's a live. I'm here. We're here right now. We're doing it. You're in it. It's like Inception. There's no other layers. This is it. So, so there's lots of people out there who say they can help with all different things. There's lots of different modalities that people use. Thanks for jumping on live. It's always fun when people are in the room and we can have a bit of a chat ski. And lots of coaches. Now, some of those coaches have just had their own lived experience and they've decided that they can then help people about that. Some of those coaches have done a weekend course and now they can help people with stuff. And some of them have done years of study and have further qualifications in things like positive psychology or other elements, and then they can help people with stuff. So it's important to understand that, I guess, not everyone who offers help to you in some capacity, it's not a level playing field, right? Not everyone, not even using the same terms, is necessarily of the same qualification or experience or duration of doing it. Like, there's a lot of these words. Oh, sorry, my back is sore today, as per usual. So lots of people using these sort of similar terms, but they don't all mean the same thing. And so I wanted to talk today about why the fuck you should listen to any of them, and in the spirit of genuine transparency, why the fuck should you listen to me, right? Like, I'm in that basket as well. So, what qualifies me to help people in the most basic of terms, right? So what I did was I put into the copy for today's live some of the things that you might want to consider when you're looking at getting some support around mental health, around life changes, around, I don't even know, just like the shit that happens in our life, and wanting someone to just help us through it or give us some shortcuts or support, right? The life happens. I can see how many people are watching, so please remember to say hi in the comments and let me know that you're here, because I can see the numbers, but I don't necessarily know who you are, so it's a bit mysterious. Also, I'm going to sidebar in a second. You want to hear my sidebar? So see up, I'm going to do it wrong again, hang on. See up here, there is a Roar Award. Hey Amy, welcome to your first live. See, there's this pointy purple award kind of looking thing up there. That's a Roar Award, and I won that in 2020. I got the bronze, and it says best mental health advocate on it, is what it says, which is very cool. What's even cooler, this is my sidebar, Amy, it's not what we're talking about today, I'm just sidebarring, is on Saturday I won another one of them. I won one. I won silver in the category of making a difference. So that's very exciting. I was a finalist in 2 categories, and I got silver in the making a difference category, which is sick as, right? Because making a difference, thanks Ames, is making a difference is the whole fucking point, right? It's the whole reason I'm here. It's the whole reason that I created the Misfit Hub. It's the whole reason that I have really cool merch that you can buy that says give 0 fucks. So if you're new to the Misfit Hub, hang on, I'll try and show you the back of it. It's got the Misfit Hub doohickey on the back, and it says Misfit Hub. Anyway, and this one says give 0 fucks. There is also another one that if you go back and you watch last week's live, I was wearing my black one, and it's got a chubby unicorn on, and it says 0 fucks on it as well. So, I don't know, just thought I'd chuck it out there, right? If you want to get yourself a 0 fucks jumper, I really mostly wear it as a reminder to myself that I give 0 fucks, pretty much. And it lets other people know without me having to express it. So that's, making a difference, which is what I won silver in the award. That's too much information, Marg. But thank you for sharing. I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to share that. We could probably work that out. See, now I've got a visual. Anyway, so the fact that I won the Silver Roar Award on Saturday for the Making a Difference category really warmed my heart. I was also a finalist for the category Coach of the Year, but I didn't place, and that's okay. It makes me happy because I'm all about making a difference. The whole fucking point of like the merch and the Misfit Hub and the programs and the coaching and next year's amazing live events that are coming is because I want to make a difference, right? I want to make a difference in people's lives individually. I want to make a difference nationally, globally, in the universe at large, essentially. I know. Just small goals. Yeah, small goals. Small goals, big vision. So today, to get to the point, Amy, now that I appreciate you being here, is working out, who's worth listening to in this space. That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide, right? Like, how do you decide who you should be listening to? Because there's a lot of gurus, there's a lot of coaches, there's a lot of people talking about how they can heal trauma and they can help you with this and they can help you with that. And I thought it'd be really useful for you, hopefully, fingers crossed. If it's not, we can talk about something else. So if I get partway through this and you're like, I want to talk about something else, Lisa, just put it in the comments. We'll talk about that instead and I'll totally leave this alone, right? But what I thought might be useful was giving you guys some really good questions to investigate the people that may be approaching you, or that you may be reaching out to for help on all sorts of levels, and some questions to ask them to get to determine why the fuck you should listen to them, and conversely, why the fuck you should listen to me. So let's have a look at the questions that I put in the copy or the little description of today's chat, and we can talk about them, right? So the more interactive this is, the better. The more entertaining it is for me, the more entertaining it'll be for you. So feel free to drop your emojis, thumbs up, questions. Really like questions. I really encourage questions or comments or queries and stuff. Yo! What's up? Scotty Mac in the house. Very exciting. Lovely to see you. Yes. Yeah, wicked. Okay, Ames has got it. Sick. Okay, so the first thing that you would want to find out about someone that is sort of having a conversation with you about potentially how they can help, or something to look for on a website or that sort of thing, right, is if it's important to you, right? It's not important to everybody, but if it's important to you, ask questions about what sort of training they have, right? What sort of training they have. So is the training they have specific to the problem you have, right? Do they actually have training designed to solve the problem that you are coming to them to solve, right? It sounds obvious when I say it out loud, yeah? But not always the case. So what you want to determine is, have they had any training, certification, have they attended a workshop? And this is sort of that formal training kind of question, right? Have they gone to uni for it, if it's something you can go to uni for? Now, so for those who are new to the group, maybe you don't know, I'm having surgery at the end of next month, right? I want to make sure that my surgeon has had fucking training to do my surgery, right? So this is across the board. We're going to talk about it sort of in the context of like, coaching and mental health and all of that. But ultimately, like, these are applicable. I would want to know that the fucking plumber that comes to fix my tap has got some sort of plumbing training, right? Like, what qualifies you to say that you can fix the problem that I'm having, yeah? So the same goes, right? The doctor, the plumber, our central heating's kind of stuffed, and we thought we wouldn't need it for months and months because it's the middle of November and in Melbourne it's meant to be summer, and now we've had a week of hail, and so we need to find someone to fix our come and tell us what the hell is wrong with our central heating, because our house is fucking freezing because the insulation's terrible, right? So wouldn't they get defensive? Interesting question mark. I'm so glad you asked that question. I really like it, and thank you for popping it into the comments. I'm super grateful. I love questions and I love having a genuine conversation in here. Wouldn't they get defensive? So presuming you ask the question, what qualifications do you have to fix my problem? In my experience, and that's all I can ever speak from, the people that can get defensive potentially don't have the qualification or the experience or whatever it is that's needed. And there's a disconnect between what they're promising to do and what they can do, what they know they can do. So there's an issue between like what they promise and then what they deliver. And if they know that there's a gap in that, they may very well get defensive about it. So, you know, these are really great questions to ask ahead of time. If you asked a plumber that, you know, like they have a plumbing business and you rang them and you asked a question like, you know, so how long does it take you in a trade to become a plumber? Like, how is your training to become a plumber? Like, I'm just curious. And they go, why are you asking questions about my plumbing apprenticeship? Right? Oh, because I just want to make sure you did one. Like, you know, like if someone has done what they're supposed to have done or what's a reasonable expectation of a qualification, or like, you know, that they should know a level of whatever it is, I'm sure that person would just say, oh yeah, my plumbing apprenticeship took me 3 years and then I did, you know, I worked for this guy and then I did that, and so I've actually been a plumber for like 8 years, right? Like they would be happy to share that with you. So yeah, I don't know, I'd probably be a little curious as to why anyone would get defensive. Because I did 2 sessions with someone and had to cancel other appointments and I got guilt shamed. That 100% sounds like someone else's stuff. Like maybe that was that person's stuff and they talked about themselves to explain a point on my time and money. Yeah, it possibly sounds like that person that you went and saw needs a coach. Feel free to send them, you know, just drop them a card with my name on it. I'd be happy to help them work through those. Yeah, so interesting. Yes, so generally speaking, my perception, and like I said, that's all I can ever speak from, is my perception, my experience, is it should be okay and reasonable for you to ask about qualifications, certificates. You know, how do they know what they say they know that they're doing? You know, if my surgeon got really defensive rather than going, oh yeah, sure, so I did my undergrad med here and then I did my surgical rotation here and then I did my specialty training here and I've actually been doing this exact surgery for the last 25 years and my walls aligned with, you know, happy clients sending me gifts and pictures and stuff, then if that wasn't the response, I'd probably be getting a second opinion, whether it's a plumber or a doctor or a coach. Hope that makes sense. Remembering that all behavior, all information is feedback, right? You're just getting feedback. So if you ask and you get feedback that makes you go, okay, that's not how I probably expected you to respond, that's information unto itself, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Sometimes I get caught up in my own rambles. So, ADHD. So to answer that question for anyone that's going, well, yes, Lisa, you raised some good points. And also, why the fuck should I listen to you? And what are your qualifications? Let me, aside from winning another Roar Award, hang on a minute. Now, I'm pretty sure oh dear, hang on a minute. I'll tell you where they are. They're in this box because I'm theoretically, if you can still hear me, I'm theoretically in the process of, and have been for several years, of putting them into certificate frames and putting them behind me, right? So that you can see them. And then I keep coming back to the fact that I don't give a fuck and I don't want to put them on the wall. And that's probably why I've been procrastinating it. So for those of you interested, because like I said, I want to be really transparent, right? So if I'm going to tell you to ask the question, why the fuck should I listen to you, and ask people these really great questions about their training and their motivations, I should answer the questions, right? Like it's only the decent thing to do, yeah? Because otherwise I'm telling you to ask other people and not, it's 1:22 on the 11th of the 22nd, 22. That's pretty cool. I mean, the 22nd of the 11th. So it's like 1:22:22:11:22 right now. There you go. And it's on video. So we'll remember this moment where I spazzed out about numbers. Far out. When I get excited, sense wavers. Most of you know that, and my apologies to those that don't. So I'm going to really quickly go through these because as much as I appreciate their value, I don't really like banging on about them. Here is my certificate of Neuro-linguistic programming. Here is my certificate of Master Practitioner of Neuro-linguistic programming. My Practitioner of Matrix Therapy certificate. My Practitioner of Advanced Matrix Therapies, which is the next level. Here's my speaker training certificate. I also have a certified trainer certificate. I have a NLP trainer certificate. So for those of you who don't know, I also train NLP, which may or may not be coming back next year. So if you want to come and learn NLP from this kind of crazy, let me know. Here's my certificate in conscious hypnosis. Here's my fascinating TAE. If anyone has had to do one of these, I'm sorry, that is a trauma. Here's my certificate in recognizing and responding to crisis situations, which is a TAFE level certificate, which I'm also qualified to train, but haven't. Here's my certificate in business and executive coach training. There you go. So for those of you that run a business, like your friend, Mark, send them my way. It's my level 1 coach. That's the first one I ever did. Actually, first one I ever did, right? Level 1 coach. That was the first one I ever did. That was a weekend or 2 weekends, something like that. And I can possibly tell you, wait a minute. I think it was the same year that I did my NLP. There you go. Which, if you can see that, says 2015. 2015. So you guys might hear me talking about how I've been doing this stuff for like 7 years. 2015. That's how long I've been doing this, right? It's a certificate about running fantastic workshops. This is my eDisc Extended Disc Accredited Level 2 Consultant, which is a behavioral profiling modality. Here are my epaulets from when I used to work in ambulance. So my experience as an ambulance paramedic in Rural Ambulance Victoria, ASV, and then Ambulance Victoria. So, and there's a 10-year medal in here, 10-year service medal. So you know what? I think the fact that I currently and for some time have been keeping all these in a box is probably a reflection to you of how I value that stuff now. It's not on the wall behind me. It's not in certificates. It's there. If anybody asks me, happy to share. But that doesn't define me. That's not the culmination of what I bring to the table. I'm more than those certificates now. So yeah, that's the little insight. So that's the answer of find out what training they have. There's probably more in a different box, but that's what I could find. Stay hydrated. For those of you still watching, first of all, thank you and bless you. Is this relevant? Is this useful? Is this giving you some level of insight into potentially why the fuck you should listen to me and why you should tune in every week and why you should go back into the guides and access all those free trainings that are sitting in the guides section? Or is this boring Does this look like I'm just talking about myself? Because I'm kind of not, but I get that, might come out that way for some of you. Just give me a little like thumbs up. Yep, good. Boring. Snooze emoji. I don't know. I think it's important to learn and educate yourself about we're getting to that. There's gonna be some of those. Good point. Excellent. I think it's good to educate yourself around how to be a critical consumer, right? So if you're going to be a consumer in this space, if you're going to spend time, spend money, join groups, be present in a space like this, be critical, as in not critical like condemning them, but critical as in analytical, right? Like be discerning in who you listen to and who you watch and who you make contact with. That's kind of where I'm coming from. Excellent. Second one that I put, I'm just going to do them in order, because if I do it out of order, I will definitely forget one. So number 2 was uncover their motivations for wanting to help, their why, right? So maybe you can watch a video, maybe you can jump on a live with them, maybe you can have a conversation one-to-one and ask them, how did you come into this? Why did you start, what this sort of work? Obviously, I was an ambulance paramedic. Why am I not doing that still? Why am I doing this? And what is my why? And so my why, basically, to answer the question, I think you should ask the question of anyone that you're looking to work with in any capacity. My why for doing this is because I was an ambulance paramedic. I was bullied, harassed. I had trauma before I became an ambulance paramedic. I'm a 2-time rape survivor. I have intergenerational trauma in my history. There's all sorts of stuff on that sort of shopping list of trauma. And then I did ambulance. And then I did shift work. And then I did, not being supported by management, and then being bullied and sexually harassed and all sorts of stuff within Ambulance Victoria. Just feel free to Google Ambulance Victoria and all these articles will come up. It wasn't the greatest. The work itself was amazing. The patients, for the most part, were incredible, and I loved that part of it. But the organisation itself, I wouldn't recommend. 1 star, would not recommend. So I came out of my career in ambulance that ended with a diagnosis of PTSD, anxiety, and depression, like many others. And it was after 4 months on the couch, wallowing in, being lost and not having an identity, and wallowing in self-pity and working out what the fuck am I going to do with my life. I was put on a disability pension at 34 years old. And I wasn't okay with that. I wasn't okay with it. So I spent sort of 4 months sitting there trying to figure it out, and got up off the couch and decided I had to do something. I didn't know what it was, but I had to do something, because sitting there on the couch as a pensioner at 34 with a 2-year-old looking at me, wondering why mummy's just lying there all day, was not fucking okay with me. It was not okay with me, and I had to do something. So that's when I went to that organisation, and I started doing those trainings. So roughly around that 2014, 2015 period was when I started getting myself into classrooms, and I started learning things, and I was reading books, and essentially here we are 7 years later on that journey. I came out of my own healing process, so that all that training and all that learning for me facilitated my own healing. Actually, that year, 2015, November 2015, we're coming up, right? We're coming up to it. Probably today or tomorrow, something around that, is the anniversary of the date that I stopped taking all my medications. So I was on antidepressants and sleeping pills and all sorts of stuff, obviously, for, all that was going on. And it was November 2015 that I have been medication and symptom free since. So yeah, I guess we're just on, almost to the day, 7 years since I've been no more symptoms and no more medication with regards to my PTSD. So that's my why, is because I know that that's possible because I did it. That's why you'll see a whole lot of unicorns all over this room and in my branding and whatever, right? Because I'm the unicorn. And what I mean by that is I was told, like many others, that I was going to have PTSD for life. Well, this is you now. You've got this from your ambulance career and your trauma and all that. So get used to it. And I was told that it was not able to be recovered from, that I wasn't going to be able to, get away from it. Settle in, get used to it. And I just went, yeah, fuck that, I'm not interested. So the fact that I have been medication and symptom free for 7 years now wasn't meant to happen, wasn't supposed to be possible. They were basically telling me that I had to just get used to this as the reality. So here I am, the unicorn, because I'm not supposed to exist. So there's that. That's been my driver, my driving why, as to why I turned back around. And my message is that if I can do it, you can do it. And I honestly believe that every single person, given the right conditions, given the right support, given the right structure, can become the version of them that they want to be. Like, I 100% believe that is true for everybody. I might not be the right person to facilitate that, but I do think it's possible for anyone that is committed enough to do it and supported enough to do it and has, the right circumstances to do it. I don't think it's out of anybody's capability or possibility, right, is what I'm saying. Great question. Next question is, determine what their lived experience of your particular challenges have been. I think I just answered that one, so I'm going to skip it. Importantly, what evidence of their own healing can they give you? I've also sort of spoken to that, but I do want to make a point. So to niche this conversation down a little bit, in this trauma healing space, what my observation has been, having been in it for 7 years, is there are people who are helping others at a level that facilitates their own catharsis, their own healing. So there's healing, and then for me, my perception, there's healed, right? How do I know that I'm healed? Because a month ago, I experienced a deeply traumatic personal tragedy in the death of a family member that I was very close to. And I was able to grieve and process just that event, just those circumstances. I wasn't triggered. I didn't have flashbacks of previous, jobs that are related to people passing in a similar way. There was nothing from my history that came up in this last 3 or 4 weeks, right? While I've been dealing with this, I just dealt with the current circumstance. And that to me is a very strong indication that I'm healed. I'm not healing anymore. I'm healed, and now I'm growing, right? Again, growing and evolving, because that's, to me, that's what it's all about. Growth, evolution, development. Okay. So that would be my answer to, how do you know that the person that wants to work with you is not working their stuff out on you or through working with you? And Marg, your reference to a previous experience, perhaps that was a contributing factor. There are a lot of people out there in the healing space. I call them the wounded healers that are still working through their own stuff at the same time as helping others. And again, you have to make your own assessment about whether that's congruent, about whether there's integrity in that, about whether it's okay with you that they're sort of doing their own stuff. Hi, Mel. Mind blown every time I listen to you. Well, I'm glad. That's good. That's what I'm here for. Wait till next year, babe. I'm so excited for next year. I'm gonna blow the lid off this joint, right? So I actually did a presentation this year, no, possibly last year, for an organization called Fearless about wounded healers. And to answer your question about a case study, Marg, my co-presenter in our presentation to Fearless, which is a PTSD, national PTSD organization, was actually one of my former clients who has become a friend and a colleague because I helped her facilitate her own healing from PTSD post Ambulance Victoria as well. So I think the fact that former clients of mine want to still be in my space and some of them want to study with me or work with me, that's probably a good indicator. That makes me, I'm very proud of that, actually. So be mindful of the difference between your healer, whether that's therapist, psychologist, coach, I don't know, whoever else. Are they healing through working with other people? Or are they healed? And some of the ways that you can determine this is, are you able to trigger them? Because if you can trigger them, they still have triggers. Mind blowing, right? If they seem to be having their own emotional response to your stuff, your story, your trauma, then that's probably an indication that they've still got some healing to do. Is anyone really completely healed? Yeah, in my opinion, yes. So what comes after healing is a period called growth. So if there's post-traumatic stress, then there's post-traumatic stress healing, and then there's post-traumatic growth, right? In that post-traumatic frame. Regardless of that, healing, healed, growth. So all the ongoing work and evolution that I have done since healed, right? And for me, that marker is the end of 2015. Medication-free, symptom-free, went to have my independent medical assessments through with 3 psychiatrists, and they all went, you no longer fit we can't tick the boxes. You no longer fit the diagnosis of PTSD. You don't have it anymore. And I went, cool, okay, thanks, job done, see ya, I'm out, right? Because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to have that for the rest of my life. Thanks very much. I had 34 years of my life without it. I had about 18 months with it, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my life without it. Thank you. Right? So as far as I'm concerned, and I'm only answering because you've asked me the question, yeah, I'm going to read that in a second. Yeah, so for me, the stages kind of go, there's an awareness of like, I've got a fucking problem. And then we enter healing, and healing can go for as long as it needs to go for. Then there's a point at which we're healed and we no longer fit, right? We're no longer that person that needs healing. We're this new version of us. And then everything that comes after that is growth and evolution and transformation and, all that good stuff of the further next versions of us. Now, my growth, right, to answer your question, is anyone really completely healed? Yes to healed, no to grown, right? My perception is anyone really completely evolved? No. My belief is that evolution, that growth, that constant, expansion of being and shedding layers and layers and layers and coming closer and closer and closer to our true selves, right? So this is it's not always an external journey. It's very much an internal journey. For me, that's never done. And I would be sad. I don't know, enlightenment, nirvana, that's what the Buddhists talk about, right? Is you reach this point of enlightenment and nirvana where, and you are at one with everything. And the concept of that even in Buddhism on a practical level is that it's unattainable, right? We are always moving towards it, but it's not actually an end point that we're seeking. The joy is in the journey, right? The joy is in the growth and in overcoming the challenge and in learning the next thing about yourself, which is just fucking cool, right? Like that's fucking cool shit. Um, so I'm just going to quickly read this. An opportunity came up. I had to redirect funds. So the opportunity immediately told me that, blah, wouldn't work. I really didn't need to hear that. And I was on a pay-as-you-go, future appointments in the calendar. Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you for sharing. And I love the openness and honesty in these conversations. And I know Mel, beautiful Mel, she's she's been with me for a long time. And we've had some amazing conversations on these lives. Mel's got an amazing opportunity. She's going to do some work experience in the US. She's in Perth currently, WA, and she's going to go to the US and do some work experience. So congratulations to you, babe, because that's amazing. Not everyone gets, that's an opportunity for growth unto itself, right? Let me quickly just go back because I am mindful of time and I do try and keep these to about 45 minutes to an hour because, who wants to listen to me for longer than that? Well, if you do, I will be running a 4-day live event, March 23rd to 26th next year, where you can listen to me and work with me and see me on stage and watch me flap about and do my craziness in person for 4 days. And in that 4 days, you can evolve and transform your life and heal your shit. And it's going to be fucking incredible. And I'm super excited. Anyway, also, Mel, if you're still watching, I really want to come to Perth and run one of these. So we need to, we need to drum up a bit of that. So I don't know. It's wet. It's wet in winter over there, isn't it? June, July. You have to tell me the best weather to come to Perth. Okay, and then that's when I'll book it in, and then we'll have to get like a heap of people into that room in Perth, but I know you'll be there. Right, so the last question is, how long have they been doing this work, and do they have testimonials of previous clients? Right now, there's certain careers, certain professions where they're actually not allowed to provide client testimonials, particularly in the medical field. So doctors, chiropractors, if you're in Australia, anyone who's registered with APRA, which is sort of the governing organisation, registering body for medical and allied health professionals, it's an APRA rule that they actually can't solicit and they can't show you testimonials. So that's a bit of a problem for those sorts of jobs. For your tradies and that sort of stuff, you can always check out Google reviews because they are outside of the purview of APRA. And so for a lot of people, no problem. Talk to you soon, Mark. Thanks for jumping on. I'm really glad that you got to come and play for a little bit in the Misfit Hub. I'm glad it was helpful. So, so just be mindful that there are some, people that can't share that information with you. Anyone that's in a similar space to me, coaching, training, NLP, this sort of woo-woo, I call it woo-woo, not everybody's comfortable with that. Should, I think, kind of like legally, I don't think there's anything stop them from sharing those sorts of things, testimonials, client case studies, those sorts of things. As Marg pointed out earlier, they are really powerful, and I think it is good to not only listen to the individual telling you that they can fix your problem, but to hear from independent third parties that go, yes, this person it can do what they say they can do. I think that's a really valuable investigation to go to. If you're interested in my client testimonials, you can visit the Misfit Hub website. You can visit lisawestgate.com. You can search on YouTube. There's some videos around my NLP students. You can go and have a look at a couple of the interviews that I've done here in the Misfit Hub with previous clients and people that have gone through my programs and done coaching with me. There's a couple of in here even. Nettie Smith and possibly, I think there's one from, a long time ago, a year ago maybe, from the beautiful Kim Savage. I'm pretty sure that I interviewed her in here. And we had a chat about what their experience was like working with me in whatever capacity they worked with me. So, that's okay. I'm still here, Scotty. So, I'm still here. You can ask your questions. I'm gonna wrap up soon. If you have any questions, around how do you source the right people to, that's okay, sweetheart. It was lovely to see your name pop up. And you can message me anytime. Any of you can message me anytime. Honestly, if you're watching this, and I'm gonna be, you can, as soon as this is done, you give Facebook about like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and it'll upload it, and then you can go back and watch the bit that you missed. So no problem at all. You can still do that. You can still go back and watch it. A quick reminder, if you go to the guides section, so depending on how your Facebook is set out, but there might be a little like multi-line drop down. If you're on your phone, it's right at the top of the group. There's a little drop down. If you click on that, you can get to guides. I don't know why it's called guides, but that's what it's called. In there are a whole stack. I think there's like, I don't know, there's at least 30 free trainings that I've already done in this group. There was pretty much every single free training I've done before on all different topics. So some of them are a bit like today, which is, I guess, like, what do we call it? Like logistical. Some are spiritual. Some are around, topics that maybe you're going to get some good tips. Sometimes I take you guys through exercises. Sometimes I'm explaining why we as human beings do what we do, how the brain works. There's all sorts of topics in there. So feel free to jump back into the guides at any point. And then just chat as if you're watching it live, because then I get a notification and I can come back in and I can answer your questions and we can have a chat in there as well. Normally, towards the end of, you're cool, Scotty. I reckon you're pretty cool. So normally towards the end of these, I would talk to you about dropping a word, and today's word was questions, dropping a word into the chat to have a talk to me about the 90-day program. However, this week is a little different in that the enrollments for the 90-day program are going to only be open, let's see what the date is, for the next, I'm not great at numbers, today's the 22nd of November. Enrollments for the 90-day program, now this is, I've said it a bunch of times, but it's the 22nd of November 2022. Enrollments for the 90-day program are going to close, not taking anybody into the 90-day program, they close at the end of business on the 9th of December, right? So that's a Friday, December 9. That's it. And it's going to be closed because I'm taking 6 weeks off. I'm having a holiday. I'm having a break. All of you guys know by now, I think, I'm having surgery. So I'm taking a 6-week break. And it didn't feel right to enroll anyone into a 90-day program and then take half of that period of holidays. So it may very well get reopened in the new year. We're going to have to see how it goes. We're going to have to see what the demand is like. There will be other opportunities to work with me very closely, very directly, grabbing life by the balls. And I know Scotty's excited to come along next year to this 4-day event that I've spoken to you guys about already. This 4-day event, it is March 23rd to 26th in Melbourne. I haven't finalised the venue yet, so don't ask me where. Somewhere in Greater Melbourne on those dates is where it's when it's going to be. If you are interstate, Mel, if you're in Perth, if anyone's watching this in Brisbane, if you want me to come to where you are, then let me know and we will have a chat about how many people we need in the room to make it viable, right? I am so fired up about getting you guys to grab your life by the balls, understand that this is it. This is it. You're living it right now. And if you want change, you have to make change. If you want change, create change. You can't keep sitting in your own shit and complaining about the smell and expecting it to get better. It just doesn't work that way. So next year, which is really only like 8-9 weeks away, guys, not long, I am going hardcore into inspiring as many people as I can, right? Oh my God, can you imagine if I inspired 1,000 people, 10,000 people next year to grab their life by the balls, to just grab it. I know your shit don't stink, babe. I know. Like roses, right? To grab it by the balls and just engage with your life. Stop being a passenger. Stop complaining about other people's driving and how they're driving your bus. Drive your own fucking bus, right? So you're going to hear a lot about that sort of stuff from me in the remaining couple of weeks we've got left until I go. Oh, thank you, Maddie. Hey, so good to see you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How's the Goldie treating you? It looks like that was the best move for you guys. I'm spying on what you and Anna are doing, and it's super exciting. I love that you guys did that. You committed to yourself. Do you know what you did, Matt? You and Anna grabbed life by the balls. These guys used to live in Geelong. They were, working on their own individual businesses, and they were called to move to the Gold Coast, and it's just been phenomenal. Best decision ever. And you know what? I'm sure things are fucked up as well, but you get data, you get feedback, you change direction, you try again, right? Yes, grab life by the balls, right? Absolutely. Steer the fucking ship, drive your own bus. Insert metaphor here, right? This is it. This is your life. It's happening right now. So you guys are going to hear a lot more about that coming into the next few weeks. And absolutely at the start of next year. Like, I'm holding back. I'm like crazy holding back, right? I'm going to be up on stage. I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be coaching. It's going to be such an incredible experience in this room of people who are ready. They're fucking ready. We all sat around for a couple of years twiddling our thumbs while we waited for COVID to destroy the earth. It didn't, right? So, okay, enough time. Let's do this, right? If you're sitting on the fence, if you've been thinking about working with me for 12 months, maybe you're not ready. Maybe it's not your time. That's fine. But I'm available and I'm open next year for those of you that are fucking ready. If this fires you up, if you listen to me talk and you go, do you know what? I'm sick of, right? People ask me, how did you get off the couch, Lisa, right? So I got diagnosed with all my mental health stuff and I sat on the couch and they asked me, how did you get off the couch? Because I got sick of my own shit. I got sick of my own stories. I got sick of listening to my own excuses, right? Thank you, Matt. Much appreciated. So are you. I got sick of it. I didn't know where I was heading. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I certainly didn't know this was at the other end 7 years down the line. No way could I have known, right? No way. I didn't know where this was headed. I now don't know where this is headed. All I know is that something has to change, right? And if you are at that point, if you're listening to me talking now, and I know I've got myself all excited right when I was trying to finish up, right? Yes, you need some masculine pissed off energy to get out of the shit, off the couch and into life. 100%, Matt. 100%. Right? I adore a balance of masculine and feminine. But if you need to get some shit done, right? My beautiful husband bought me a necklace that says get shit done, right? If you need to move into, for now, consciously move into masculine energy to get shit done, then that's what you need, right? And so that's what I'm bringing next year. I'm going to be jumping around all crazy, telling my metaphors that don't make sense and giving you guys the insights, giving you the ahas, giving you those moments. There's going to be testimonials, case studies, live coaching, workbooks. You're going to take home your stuff so that you can go back and you can redo it, you can reread it, you can embed it, you can integrate it, right? This is going to be an incredibly powerful, transformational 4 days. This isn't a seminar. You're not going to be sitting there like this for 4 days. I can fucking guarantee you that, right? Because there's no way I could even run one of those if I wanted to. I'd get bored, right? This is not going to be a sit back in your chair event. This is a get up off the fucking couch event. So if this is firing you up, if you're like Matt and you're finding what I'm talking about, that you hear the passion in my voice and it sets, it fans a little flame in you, or it sets off a little spark, and you think, fuck, that's what I need next year. I just need to just fucking move. I need to get off the couch. I need to stop listening to my own bullshit excuses. I don't know what the change is, but I fucking well need a change. Then that's what I'm bringing next year. That's what the door is going to be open for. It's not going to be open for sitting on the fence. It's not going to be open for kicking the tires. It's not going to be open for, I'll see how it goes. If this is the time, it's coming. It's coming. You guys are going to hear me talk about this as soon as I'm back from my holiday. Can you imagine how fired up I am now? Can you imagine how I'm going to be after I have 6 weeks off? I'm going to be fucking unstoppable, right? I'm going to bring more energy than this after 6 weeks of rest, after 6 weeks of recuperation, after 6 weeks of reconnecting to my true self and my core. Love the passion, Matt. Thank you. And I'll tell you where it comes from. Because this is my why. This is why I've been put on the earth. This is what I'm here for, is to inspire the fuck out of you guys to choose to grab your life by the balls, right? This is in alignment with my purpose, and that's why the passion comes through, right? Because I'm channeling it. I'm a conduit, whatever your belief system is, right? This is my purpose, is to bring the opportunity for evolution to you next year. That's what I'm doing. Scotty's in. He's all in. Let's fucking do it. Because do you know what? As challenging and messy and snot crying and fucking boxes and boxes of tissues it may be, the other end is absolutely better than where you are right now. I fucking guarantee it, right? I guarantee it. If you engage, if you show up, you play full out, you're in, you're all in, you cannot be the same person you were at the end of day 4 as you were on day 1. It's just not possible. Matt, if you're still here, somebody asked me earlier to share a case study or testimonials. Now, the beautiful Matt is an incredible coach unto his own right, and he has very happy clients. He's an amazing coach. He's so well read and well researched. Like, Matt shits all over my knowledge of NLP and the intricacies of that. He's amazing. And I'm sure he doesn't mind me sharing that we also did some work together, and I coached Matt for a little bit, because even coaches need coaches, and sometimes we need help to get out of our own way. And I've got a spiritual mentor, I've got a business mentor, I've got a relationship coach, I've got a bunch of people that are supporting me to be this version of me so that I can bring this to the world. The more I learn, the less I know. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, Matt, just while you're here, just to put you on the spot, if you could in one sentence sum up what it's like being a client of mine or being in my space. How would you, I don't even know how if you could put it in a sentence or two, rather than me spruiking myself, I guess, not that I'm really doing that anyway, because, everyone has choice. If you don't resonate with it, that's cool. You can tell me to fuck off. I'm cool with that. Yeah, if you feel comfortable putting anything in the box, um, get out of my own head and into action. Yeah, as in that's what I helped you with? Question mark. Your coaching helped me with that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you go and have a look at, I think it might be the Misfit Hub website, you'll see a video of a testimonial that the beautiful Matt did for me as well. Saying the same thing, right? That to get out of his own head, to get out of his own way, and to start taking action. And since then, his business has grown, he's moved into state, all sorts of magical things. Now, was that all me? Absolutely fucking not. It was all Matt, right? But I helped him get out of his own way so he could go and take those actions. And I know that he worked with another coach. That's all cool, right? Because it's about getting the best out of everybody. So listen, thank you so much, Matt. It's lovely to see you in here, and welcome to hanging out in the Misfit Hub. Scotty Mac, mate, once you commit to letting me rock your world, I'm going to blow the lid off it. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you everyone who is on live. Thank you all who are watching the replay. I know quite a few people asked for a replay. We will make sure that you get that. Well said. Well said. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, my darling. And I'm over an hour, which is really long for one of these. Normally I try and keep them to sort of 45 minutes. So I'm going to jump off. I trust that this has been useful. If you missed a section for any reason, please, in 5 minutes, it'll be uploaded and you can just come back. It's also going to be at the top in the featured panel. So you can always catch up with it later. They don't go anywhere. They just go into the guides section, so you can always find them later on. Cool. I hope that's not my internet that keeps dropping out, Mel. Hopefully. That wouldn't be good. Anyway, cool. I gotta go. Lots of messages. Gotta go do school pickup. All the things. Much love to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. Great work. Oh, you are just an angel, Matt Tate, and I'm so glad you're in my world. I'm very grateful for you. Same goes for you, Scotty Mac. You're a bloody champion. And I'm super excited for you to know that. That's going to be cool. All right. Love you lots. And I'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye.